Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I'm going to be doing my bookshelf tour. A few people have asked me to do this in comments or on Tumblr, and I decided I was finally going to do it. I'm sitting down because I just finished filming it, and I'm too tired to make this tripod thing work again. I'm so tired from climbing all over my shelves. But I hope you enjoy seeing my bookshelves and all the books that I own. I just wanted to give you some stats about these shelves. First of all, this is not all of my books. These are just the ones that I have with me at home. The rest of my books are at school, but they're in a storage unit. I can't bring them back every semester. So the number of books that I have here is 209. That is the books I'm going to be showing you. 209. And at school, I have 43. So altogether, I have 252 books, I think, is the total number. So yeah, that is, so you don't have to count at home. That's how many books I have. And before I show you all of the individual books, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of my shelves in general. So first up we have my series shelf, which actually starts up here with all of my coffee table books. And then all of my series are organized by author's last name, and it goes all the way down here. And then we have some notebooks and general stuff, and you will see more of that later. If you guys are interested, this is sort of my art wall and other various things that I think are really cool. The Night Before the Stars poster was a gift from a friend. It's not actually signed, they were like produced like that. I haven't met any of the people from The Fault in Our Stars, but it's very cool. And then we've got pictures of me and my friends up there. And then a couple of postcards from a girl I met who does fantasy art. That is my friend's wedding announcement. This is a signature from the guy who played Bear in Bear in the Big Blue House, and I almost died when I met him a couple months ago. This is Castiel from Supernatural. Beautiful art. Then we have the Hogwarts Houses. This is one of my favorite pieces of art of all time, and I love it. I love it. This is Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones when she fought the bear. It's amazing. And then this is Korra from Legend of Korra, the TV show. You probably have heard of it, or the series that came before it, Avatar: The Last Airbender. But it is her in the spirit tree, in like the spirit swamp, meditating, and then underneath is the tree from the spirit world. So this is my art wall. And here is my never before shown you guys my standalone shelf, which is organized by rainbow, and I have a lot of different stuff on it, but this is just organized by rainbow with all my trinkets. And then at the bottom we have my Tbr shelf with stuff pulled out for what I'm going to read for TBR Takedown. So now I'm going to show you guys all of my books. So here is my top shelf. You would not believe the setup I had to pull to get this to where the height it needs to be, but it's ridiculous. Okay, so we're just gonna hurry and do this. These are some of my yearbooks, and then I have some shoes that were painted for me by my cousin, and then I have a scrapbook and a couple of binders and a journal, but I'm just gonna hurry and pull out the coffee table books to show you. So first I've got my Gishwez 2014 book. Gishwez is a scavenger hunt. It's very weird, and I participated last year, and this is the book that I got for doing that. Then we've got my Nightmare Before Christmas art book with art and film and all that stuff. Next is my Alice in Wonderland visual companion. This also has art and stuff in it that my mom got me at Disneyland. Then one of my favorites, the Chronicles of Spiderwick, which is one of those really cool books with stuff you can pull out, and it's just all about the Spiderwick Chronicles by Holly Black and Tony Dieterlizzi, which I read when I was a kid. Then we have my Inside the Game of Thrones series book, which is beautiful. Next is my Doctor Who: The Secret Lives of Monsters book, which is very new, but I just got this at Christmas and I love it. It's so cool. Then we've got my Harry Potter: The Creature Vault book, which has amazing art of all of the creatures from the Harry Potter series. Then we have the Unofficial Harry Potter Cookbook. I have not cooked anything from this yet, but I might this month and do a video of it if people would be interested in that. And then we have my Sherlock Chronicles book. And the last thing I have up here is my pop-up Game of Thrones map, which completely unfolds flat into the map at the beginning of the show with the opening theme, and it's really beautiful and I love it. So next up we have this shelf. This is the beginning of my series that I own. Only the books that I've read of each series, and also my mask from my grandparents, which I recently showed in another video, but I'm gonna remove now. So first up on this shelf we have the Looking Glass Wars, Seeing Red, and Arch Enemy, the 3 books in the Looking Glass Wars series by Frank Bador, Graceling, Fire, and Bitter Blue, all 3 books in the Graceling series by Kristen Kishore, City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, and City of Lost Souls, books 1 through 5 of the Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. I have not read the 6th book yet, nor do I own it, but I will read it at some point, probably. Artemis Fowl, The Arctic Incident, The Eternity Code, my infuriatingly shorter copy of The Opal Deception, The Lost Colony, and The Time Paradox, which is when they changed covers. These are books 1 through 6 of the Artemis Fowl series by Owen Colfer. I have read books 7 and 8, but I do not own them. The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay, all 3 books in the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. Matched, Crossed, and Reached, all from the Matched series by Ali Condi. Alright, here's the next series shelf. I also have a couple of boxes here. This is a flower from high school, some fool's gold, and a rock that was given to me by my friend when we graduated together. So first up on this shelf we have, without the dust cover, the 13th Reality, the Journal of Curious Letters, The Hunt for Dark Infinity, and the Blade of Shattered Hope. This is books 1 through 3 of the 13th Reality series by James Dashner, The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, The Death Cure, and The Kill Order by James Dashner. Black, Red, and White, books 1 through 3 of the Circle books by Ted Dekker, The City of Ember, and The People of Sparks, book 1 and 2 of the Books of Ember by Jeannie Duprow, Ink Heart, Ink Spell, and the really, really large Ink Death from the Ink World trilogy by Cornelia Funk, The Goose Girl, Enna Burning, River Secrets, and Forest Born. These are the 4 books of the Books of Bayern series by Shannon Hale. Okay, continuing on in series. On this shelf you can see a little statue I got for winning a dance competition once, and it is beautiful. And my Iron Throne from Game of Thrones, which is usually a tree ornament, but when it's not Christmas, I just remove it and put it on my Throne of Glass books. Okay, on this shelf we have the Princess Academy and Princess Academy Palace of Stone by Shannon Hale, Gone, Hunger, Lies, and Light. These are all part of the Gone series by Michael Grant, but I do not own the whole series. Gathering Blue, and Messenger, books 2 and 3 of the Giver Quartet by Lois Lowry. The Giver is with me at school, and I don't own Sun yet. Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Heir of Fire, books 1 through 3 of the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. The Hourglass Door, The Golden Spiral, and The Forgotten Locket by Lisa Mangum. Fablehaven, Rise of the Evening Star, Grip of the Shadow Plague, Secrets of the Dragon Sanctuary, and Keys to the Demon Prison, books 1 through 5 of the Fablehaven series by Brandon Mull. The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answer, and Monsters of Men, books 1 through 3 of the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness. I love it. There, you get some hands there. Love it. Alright, here's my next shelf. There's a lot more trinkets on this shelf, but I'm just going to show them to you real fast. We have my glass dragon that I've shown off in a video, my Ron and Hermione Funko Pops, golden snitch necklace, which was a gift to me from my aunt and uncle, but it looks like a golden snitch, and then it pops open and it's a watch. What? And then we've got my time turner, of course. So on this shelf we have Aragon, Eldest, Brissinger, and the giant that is Inheritance. These are the 4 books in the Inheritance cycle by Christopher Paolini, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, and the Battle of the Labyrinth, books 1, 2, and 4 of the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series by Rick Riordan, Divergent, and Allegiant, books 1 and 3 of the Divergent trilogy by Veronica Roth. I own Insurgent, and my sister took it to read it, and it's been lost, so at some point she'll be replacing that. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which I am currently reading, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, all 7 books in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. Also in the Harry Potter series, I have the Hogwarts Library, which includes Quidditch Through the Ages, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and The Tales of Beetle the Bard. Okay, here is my next shelf, and the only thing that I have on this shelf that is not books is my little paper TARDIS that sits here, and then I have a few characters. This isn't technically Madame Vostra, but I like to think of her that way, because Madame Vostra is my favorite, so she's the same species, I'm gonna count it. And then I've got the Vashta Narada, 11 in his later coat, 11 in his original coat, a Cyberman, and a Dalek. So on this shelf I have Unwind and Unholy, books 1 and 2 of the Unwind Dystology, I think, by Neil Shusterman, 11 Thumps and the Gateway to Fu, 11 Thumps and the Whispered Secret, 11 Thumps and the Eyes of the Want, 11 Thumps and the Wrath of Ezra, and 11 Thumps and the Ruins of Alder. This is all 5 books in the 11 Thumps series by Obert Sky, the Mysterious Benedict Society, and the Mysterious Benedict Society and the Perilous Journey, books 1 and 2 of the Mysterious Benedict Society series by Trenton Lee Stewart. Alright, next, and you bet I'm going to pull every single one of these out to show you guys, so just get ready. The Bad Beginning, The Reptile Room, The Wide Window, The Miserable Mill, The Austere Academy, The Ersatz Elevator, The Vile Village, The Hostile Hospital, The Carnivorous Carnival, The Slippery Slope, The Grim Grotto, The Penultimate Peril, and the end, the entire 13 books of the Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. From the series, I also have the Beatrice Letters by Lemony Snicket, Stormglass, Sea Glass, and Spyglass. The 3 books in the Stormglass series. And finally, the very hard to film bottom of this shelf, I have some comics and zines, which I'll show you in a second, but first the series. Shiver, Linger, and Forever. These are the first 3 books of the Wolves of Mercy Falls series by Maggie Stiefvater, Uglies, and Specials by Scott Westerfeld. I know I don't own pretties, I will at some point, but I will not own extras because I do not need extras. Also over here is where I keep my comics. I have this comic series from Doctor Who with the 11th Doctor and Amy and Rory, which is a 2-part series by Lee Smith. This 4-part series with the 11th Doctor and Clara, which is by 3 different people. Special Adventures with the 10th Doctor, and I only have the first one. Means I have the Future of Rabid Rabbit, which I got at Mocha Fest 2014, and the Rule 63 zine. Also over here in some shaky cam filming, I've got my bookmarks, which basically, mostly they're little things that say stop talking, but I also have some cards from Artists at Artist Alley, and I have a Sagittarius bookmark, which is Janelle's sign, because my Aries bookmark is in my Harry Potter book. Then I have this random box of stuff. That's pretty much, it's just random stuff. And then over here, I've just got some dictionaries, some journals, a supernatural book, a book of London walks, and this is the bottom of my series shelf. And now onto some shelves that you guys have not seen before. There's a lot more stuff on these shelves. You've seen my Supernatural Pops, Castiel, Dean, and Sam. This is a Fabergé egg, which is really cool, from my grandparents. And then yet another of my 100,000 little trinket boxes that are on my shelves with a pet rock that a high school English teacher gave me. His name is Frederick. So, starting off, in rainbow order, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies by Jane Austen and Seth Grahame-Smith, Burn by Ted Dekker and Aaron Healy, The House of the Scorpion by Nancy Farmer, Harry, A History by Melissa Anelli, and then we have the Superior Person's second book of Weird and Wondrous Words by Peter Bowler, Serpent Tide by K.L. Fogg, Book of 1,000 Days by Shannon Hale, The Hollow City by Dan Wells, A Kiss in Time by Alex Flynn, Almost Like Being in Love by Steve Kluger, The Merciless by Danielle Vega, The Martian by Andy Weir, Grammar Snobs Are Great Big Meanies by June Assagrand, I believe, Igraine the Brave by Cornelia Funk, The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, Macbeth by William Shakespeare, and Twelfth Night, also by Shakespeare, Drift by Sharon Carter Rogers, It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vizzini, The Wand in the World, Conversation with Writers of Fantasy. This was compiled by Leonard S. Marcus, but it is by a bunch of pretty famous fantasy authors. The Lump of Coal by Lemony Snicket, art by Brett Hellquist. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. And Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jesse Andrews. Here's my next shelf, again with a lot of little trinkets on it. We've got Elsa from Frozen, the 11th Doctor, and the 12th Doctor from Doctor Who. I just got him, and he's beautiful. He's an exclusive, which is why he's holding Handles, the little Cyberman. I have a box from my grandmother, this cool little ladybug thing, this turtle whose head wobbles. And this mini is supposed to go on a keychain. This is from Janelle, but I don't have a keychain that's my own, so she's staying up here until I have my own keys that I can attach her to. But Janelle has the matching Mickey. It's so cute. Oh, I almost forgot. And also the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which sits over here. It was a gift from my grandparents. I have a lot of stuff from my grandparents on these shelves. I'm just sort of realizing that as I do this video. So first up on this shelf we have my tiny copy of The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. Okay, on this shelf, The Inheritance Almanac, which is a guide to the world of the inheritance cycle. This is by Michael Macaulay, who was the webmaster of the #1 Inheritance Cycle fan site. Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli. Unspeakable by Abby Rushton. Eek by Roland Smith. 13 Little Blue Envelopes by Maureen Johnson. From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler by E.L. Konigsberg. Wow, I just messed up every part of that. If I Stay by Gail Forman. The Long Walk by Stephen King. The biggest book I own, The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. The Tempest by William Shakespeare, the Norton Critical Edition. The Candy Shop War by Brandon Mull. The Dust Coverless Children of the Lamp, the Akhenaten Adventure by P.B. Kerr. This is the first in a long series of books, and it was very, very good. But they just kept publishing more books, and I kind of grew out of them, so I just have this first book still. The Sea of Trolls by Nancy Farmer. Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funk. The Thief Lord by Cornelia Funk. Bless Me Ultima by Rudolfo Anaya. My 13th Winter, which is a memoir by a girl named Samantha Abiel. Hatchet by Gary Paulson. Blink, The Power of Thinking Without Thinking, which is a nonfiction book by Malcolm Gladwell. The Ear, the Eye, and the Arm by Nancy Farmer. Call the Midwife by Jennifer Worth. 3 by Ted Decker. Lastly, Reading Stephen King, Issues of Censorship, Student Choice, and Popular Literature. This is a series of essays. Alright, here's my next shelf. Also, plenty of trinkets. On here we have Cassima from Orphan Black. We also have a little Winnie the Pooh figurine from when I graduated kindergarten and my mom gave me this. This is a journal that my aunt gave me that she made. It's very, very cool. I love it. I think it's beautiful. We have some perfume, some Cecilia Silvera perfume, also from my aunt, because it had my name on it, so she got it for me. And then these are Pushing Daisies, like perfume sticks. They smell really good, and they're named after a couple of different people from Pushing Daisies. So there's the Pie Maker, Itty Bitty, The Lonely Tourist, and Darling Mermaid Darlings. Adorable. So the books on this shelf are Fairest by Gail Carson Levine, and The Two Princesses of Bamar, also by Gail Carson Levine. Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston, and The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafon. Ella Enchanted by Big Shock, Gail Carson Levine. Fictitious Dishes by Dinah Fried. Partials by Dan Wells. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Sorcery and Cecilia, or The Enchanted Chocolate Pot by Patricia C. Reed and Caroline Stevermer. The Host by Stephanie Meyer. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. The Dark Side of Nowhere by Neil Shusterman. Beastly by Alex Flynn. Reckless by Cornelia Funk. I was about to say this was my last Cornelia Funk book, but I remember there's another one, so not done yet. Midnighters, The Secret Hour by Scott Westerfeld. This is just book 1 because the rest of the series didn't impress me, so I didn't buy the others. Nightlight, which is a parody of Twilight from the Harvard Lampoon. Bewitching by Alex Flynn. And Gossamer, which is my other Lois Lowry book. And we've made it to the last shelf of books that I've actually read. So, quick intro to everything that's on here. We have my Angel Pop from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, a picture of me and Janelle. This is a cat that my cousin painted for me. We have my mask from Italy my little word-burned box with my name in it, and my absolutely beautiful birthday card from when I turned 19 from my aunt. So on this shelf I have None of the Above by I.W. Gregorio, Odd Girls and Twilight Lovers by Lillian Faderman, The World of the Hunger Games, The Girl Who Was on Fire, edited by Leah Wilson, The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Kiss by Ted Dekker and Aaron Healy, Cloaked by Alex Flynn, Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan, Across the Universe by Beth Revis, and 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. Okay, that's all of the books that I own that I've read. Okay, this is my final shelf of books. So the only thing I have on this shelf, this is my TBR shelf. The only thing I have on here are my 2 dinosaurs from Firefly that Janelle gave me, and I love them. I just have a couple of library books, so I'm also just gonna remove those too. On this shelf, we have The Mark of Athena, Book 3 of the Heroes of Olympus by Rick Riordan, Secret by Lindsay Smith, Eon by Allison Goodman, Amelia Ann is Dead and Gone by Kat Rosenfield, My Arc of Zeros by Margot Lanigan and Deborah Biancotti and Scott Westerfeld, Positively Beautiful by Wendy Mills, Blink by Ted Dekker, How to Buy a Love of Reading by Tanya Egan Gibson, Can't Wait to Get to Heaven by Fanny Flagg, The Mystery of the Blue Train by Agatha Christie, The Adventures of Nicolo Zen by Nicholas Christopher, The Lost Hero, Book 1 of the Heroes of Olympus by Rick Riordan, Bellman and Black by Diane Setterfield, The Void of Mist and Thunder, the 4th and final book in the 13th Reality series by James Dashner, The Assassin's Blade, the bind-up of the prequel novellas of the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, Ghost Night by Cornelia Funk, this is the last Cornelia Funk book, Green by Ted Dekker, which is the concluding novel to the Circle series, Full Ride by Margaret Peterson Haddix, Teeth by Hannah Moskowitz, Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and the Undead by Mark Twain and Dawn Borchert, Speak by Laurie Hull Sanderson, and finally, Geek Lust by Alex Langley. I don't really know why I bought this. Time for some bottom shelf shaky cam. There's not much down here. We've got some stuff my grandparents bought me from London, which are some travel guides, a little purse. These are some pencils from Cambridge that my parents' friends who live near Cambridge sent me when they found out I was coming to visit. And then some little notebooks and some ukulele strings. This is my speaker for my phone and some chocolate and almond treats. This is my very, very messy drawer of pens and pencils, plus my eyeglass cleaner and my headphones, and another bin of stuff, and a bin of electronics, and then this is just from my 12th birthday party that my mom made me. That's pretty much it. Alright, that took an insanely long amount of time to film. I can't even imagine editing this. I hope you guys at least enjoyed seeing all the books on my bookshelves. This was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Booktubers complain a lot about doing bookshelf tours, and I was always like, come on, it's not that hard. No, I get it. Creating little stands for this tripod was an adventure. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If there are some stand-up books that you really like, I hope that you let me know in comments, or if you guys just want to know about a book that I've already read, I would be happy to tell you what I thought of it. Thank you for watching this video, however long it ends up being after editing. Probably long. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in another much shorter video and much less difficult video very soon. Bye!